Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast. As always, hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 340. Welcome. This is the last episode of July. It's been a crazy birthday pod month, spectacular sandwich. Lots of great episodes. Lots of great guests. Once again, I'm thankful for all the guests and the listeners this month, and every month for that matter. The podcast is 6 years old, and it wouldn't be here without either or guests or listeners. So I'm super appreciative of all of you guys. Thank you. Of course, if you want to keep in contact with me on my Twitter and Instagram, you can do that at Casting for Two. Made it easy. And of course, enjoy the podcast on any service that you like to listen on, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, or the website castingfor2.com. However you listen, that's your biz, and I'm not going to tell you otherwise. And yeah, so I should talk about my guest. My guest today is finishing the month off, the birthday month off strong. Lindsey Washburn, a.k.a. Lindsbot. She works over at Cow Chop, and she's always been somebody I've wanted to chat with more just about her life and just get to know her, because I think she's a pretty amazing person, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to chat with her about everything and anything. But you know what? Instead of me talk about what we talked about, let's listen to what we talked about, all right? So everybody sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. It's going well. How about you?
I'm doing all right.
Doing all right. Did you have a crazy day today?
I did. I got whiskey poured on me, so.
So, I say, what else is new?
Yeah.
When you were growing up, what was the job that you're like, you know what, I want to be this?
Have we started? Is this it?
This is it. We're in it.
Oh, okay. So, what did I want to be when I was growing up?
Yeah.
When I was really little, I wanted to I wanted to be a TV star, a movie star.
Okay.
But then I really actually wanted to be a teacher for a long time, and I only had a hobby for doing my own little videos and stuff. And then when I was a teenager, my dad was like, people do that for a living, like you can do that too. And I was like, really? Like, yeah, you can make, well, he didn't say make content back then. This was like 2004. He was like, yeah, you can work in film, you can work in TV. I was like, wow, how do you do that? So I went into broadcasting a little bit, but.
Okay. I had hopes of being a teacher as well.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, there was something about like middle school, high school history that I really wanted to teach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I took a history class in college, and I was just, this is not what I want to do. No, thank you.
Yeah. It's cool to study, but there's you have to learn everything,
Right. And it's, I figured history was good because, I suck at grammar, I suck at math, and I was like, but, I can remember dates, but it just wasn't fun.
Yeah. I think I wanted to be like an elementary school teacher. I wanted to teach like basic knowledge on a variety of subjects.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to work with like kids and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, you can always teach kids how to make content. That's
Well, that is something that I think about sometimes is like, what if I wanted to do something different? Maybe I would go get a teaching degree and teach like digital media. And because I had a
mhm.
digital media teacher in high school and it's a really cool class and it'd be a cool way to get kids to be creative. So I'm kind of into that.
In just how times are. I mean, kids are starting YouTube channels early. You know.
Yeah, my niece and nephew have YouTube channels and I think they're only sent to family and friends, but
Okay.
I was like, but they do it with their dad, my brother, so it's like cute. And yeah, I think it's only for family and friends to see. So
That's smart. My nephew wants to start one, and I just say no.
don't do it.
Mm-mm,
It's a
no.
trap.
Exact. Yeah, and I don't know. He wants. He's very influenced by a lot of like the Disney streaming shows or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he knows Parker plays and wants to play
yeah.
all the games that he plays, and I'm just, oh my god,
Yeah.
stop it! You're 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my nephew was probably around that age when my brother first sent me the YouTube channel. But they played like, I think they played like Minecraft in a video, of course, and they like ate some food one time, and yeah, it's like cute stuff that'll like satiate your child's desire to do that, but it's private.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we just have my nephew. He has his iPad and he films stuff, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just okay. We can do that.
Yeah. It's like when I was 10, I would take my dad's like little camcorder and I would record my own little segments of shows, but obviously there was no posting it anywhere. It was just for my family and friends to watch or for me to watch. And I remember sitting on those big purple blow-up chairs eating like chocolate pudding and doing like a segment on chocolate pudding.
What was it? Was it a good segment? Like, was it very well thought out, or?
No, it wasn't very well thought out. I was 10 and I was probably like, okay, that's good. I'm bored. But it was, I remember, I wish I could watch it, like, but I don't know. Those tapes are so gone or probably recorded over. I did that a lot too as a kid.
Yeah.
Just record over it and be like, okay, next thing, let's just rewind it and do a new thing. But
what was the first YouTube clip that you saw?
the first YouTube clip that I saw.
Yeah.
Oh, probably like some of those really, really old memes, like maybe it was like a cat video or like the is it a hamster or a chipmunk that's like the dun, 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 like.
Oh yeah. I forgot the name of that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was way back when.
Gotcha. The first thing I ever saw, it wasn't anything like that. It was footage from my high school, and some guy had uploaded a clip of him like scoring a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
And that's when I was just, what is this?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know how he found out, but he was cool, so he had all the connections.
Yeah, I mean, I have a channel that I have like, some really, really old stuff on that I would upload in like 2008, and it was just random footage of stuff that I'd recorded from high school, and I just, because it wasn't what it is now, I just sort of did it casually and wanted to send it to friends and stuff. So I did that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have my old channel, but I don't really do anything with it, and it's just there.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I was going to chat with somebody, and he was a musician, and his manager said, well, we're not going to have you chat with him. And I was just, why not? Oh, because we saw your YouTube channel. And I was just, you mean the YouTube channel that's not affiliated with the podcast at all that, I started when I was in high school?
Yeah, damn.
And he said yes. I was like, all right, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. My personal journal, man.
Right, exactly. And I honestly, it stung a little bit because I wanted to plead my case. But now that, time has passed, I really don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's time heals. That's all I have to say. But this is a loose show. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah.
I like to talk about everything and anything.
Okay.
And I ask really hard-hitting questions.
Uh-huh.
and they're all going to be James-based. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm curious because this one question will tell me everything I need to know about you, so no pressure.
Okay.
How much sleep do you get?
Oh, God. Not a lot lately.
Yeah.
No, when I was going to the gym, I was really good about, okay, I'm getting to bed before 11. But, like,
Yeah.
kind of haven't been to the gym in, like, maybe a month. And so, and RTX really messed me up. And it's been some pretty late nights for me. I've, been like, oh, it's fine if I play this game a little bit longer. Or,
Right.
oh, I watched all of Stranger Things, and, like, that kept me up late, too. So I have been getting maybe, like, I would say, like, 5 to 6 most nights.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to work on that. I want to work on that and get it back in order.
Well, and so, okay, so what's the maximum amount of sleep that you need to feel like, hey, I can take on the day?
I think it's about like the timing of the sleep. Like once I get maybe up to like between 6 and 8, somewhere between 6 and 8, I think is good. 5 is what's been like messing me up lately just because I feel so drowsy and I'm falling asleep so late that I can't wake up at an appropriate time. Like, you're not supposed to wake up in the middle of like certain cycles and stuff like that. Like your sleep cycle.
Right.
But I don't have the time to like make sure that I don't do that. So I've been careless. But I would say, what they say, you're supposed to get 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
At least.
I think so. Yeah.
But it's definitely dependent on like the right timing to wake up, because sometimes if you wake up in the middle of your cycle, you're going to feel messed up. You're going to feel like, oh my God. But if you get the same-ish amount of sleep, but you wake up at the right time, then you'll feel refreshed and you'll be like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But how many hours of sleep do you get?
Oh no. I was not prepared for that quite. No. I usually get like, 6 to 7 hours. I have anxiety about not waking up on time.
That's real.
So if I set my alarm at 8 o'clock, I'll wake up at 7:30, and I'll turn off my alarm clock just because that's just when I wake up. Because I hate being late for things.
Yeah, me too. Punctuality is a virtue.
It really is, and
I'll tell you what, if you're late, I'm gonna be like, what happened? Where were you?
What have you ever had? Let's say somebody's late to something. I don't fill in the blanks. Have you ever had somebody give an interesting excuse, whether it was true or not?
Oh, sure. I mean, like, you can sometimes make it up to me if you're like, yo, this crazy shit happened. I'd be like, oh wow, okay. But when somebody's just kind of like late and they're like, yeah, I don't know. Then I'm like, come on.
If you're gonna be late, at least treat me to a show.
Yeah, tell me an engaging tale of why you're late.
There we go. No, I get that. I have a buddy who, he's a great guy, wonderful guy. I love him. He's the best person in the world. He's probably listening to this, so he's great.
Oh, he's great.
A wonderful guy. No sense of time whatsoever.
Yeah, I know some people like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Because I went to film school, and that really messed me up as far as time goes, because the rule is if you're not 15 minutes early, then you're late.
Yeah, it's if you're on time, you're late.
Exactly. So then my brain goes, okay, well, 15 minutes is early. Well, if 15 minutes is on time, then I should be there like 15 more minutes or 30 more minutes, and then I'll be early. Yeah. And that's just how my brain is.
Yeah. I often, I've showed up to dinner parties a little too early. One time my friend was like, you're just like a little too early. I'm like, okay, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't late. I definitely have that problem sometimes.
I definitely got to, like, when, because I'm doing the dating thing and it sucks, but I've been to dates where I get to the restaurant about maybe an hour and a half early. And
that's really early.
I'm crazy because my brain goes, okay, it's Friday, it's going to be busy. I'll get there early, and then I get there and it's dead. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to get a seat?" And I'm like, "No, I'm early. I don't want to look like a loser for an hour and a half." So I'll just walk around and I don't know, try to do something else. But yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, I'm usually a little early for like I actually had a couple dates recently, and I was early to each one of them, and this guy was late twice, and so by the second one, it was like going on 25 minutes, and I was like,
Ooh.
nope. I was like, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
I don't blame. When I do these podcasts, my rule is if they're 30 minutes late, all right, gone. See you later.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Don't waste my time. That's sort of what it is,
Yeah. No. I hear you. How was your I don't want to say last, but how was your RTX this year?
It was great. I had such a good time. I think I had like probably a little bit better of a time than the first year, just because the first year was very overwhelming and it was new, and I was sort of being like, okay, and this year we even had an extra day there, not on purpose. That's another story, but
right.
I had a great time. I met so many awesome people. I got to be on the panel again with like all the ladies of Let's Play, and that was awesome. And it's just such a cool and also bizarro experience. And I had a really great time.
So was this your second RTX?
This was my second, yeah.
Okay.
I went last year for the first time.
Okay, because I remember seeing you both times.
Yeah.
Because I'm super cool and could get into the Rooster Teeth after mixer party, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I was always tempted to just go up and say hi, Lindsey.
Oh yeah, well you should have. You told me later too that you're like, oh, I didn't say anything. I'm like, well, that's sort of why we're there. So I gotta be like, what's up?
I am such again, I was really cool in high school and super macho. But there's times when I'm just I can't do it because I don't want to disturb anybody in the middle of a conversation. And it's my my Catholic / Mexican upbringing. If somebody's talking, you just stand behind and you wait.
Oh yeah.
But then I didn't want to be like just waiting creepily, so I just ran, did laps around the bar or whatever.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I can't help it. Plus, I was super cool in high school. I don't know if I mentioned that.
I was too. I was super cool.
Right. But you were into sports in high school, right?
No, I wasn't super into sports. I played softball when I was younger, and then I played again. But I didn't play on the high school teams. I just played rec since I was like maybe 10 to like 16-ish, and then I played again like in my 20s. But I didn't do any other sports. But I was in like a digital design class, and I was like in show choir, and like I was in theater, so I did all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. And so I know you mentioned it earlier how you wanted to choose a life of media, but how do you get mixed up with a company like Machinima?
The origin story for me.
Yes. Lindsey origins.
When I was moving to LA to go to film school, I went on rent.com to find a roommate. And I did find a roommate. She was going to acting school, and she was really sweet. And I'm actually still really good friends with her to this day. And so I lived with her for like a year and a half, and she got an internship at this company called Mania TV. And they had like a website, and they worked with like National Lampoon's Lemmings, which was like a comedy troupe show. This is all late 2008. And so she met a bunch of guys through there, including like I think Brett worked at the time, but she didn't really know him. But another one of my friends who worked at Machinima and Mania TV, his name was Rob Talbert, and she was friends with him casually. And then he got hired at Machinima through that's his story. But then she had a bunch of their other friends too. Like then he got all the other people hired. And so I was friends with a bunch of them. And I remember one time in 2010, one of the guys was like, oh, we're trying to bring on somebody to like our communications team. That was before it was called social media team. Our communications team, we need somebody to answer the fan mail. And like, I was working at Panera Bread at the time after film school. And I was like, I just want to do something, and like doing internship after internship. And they're like, would you be interested? It's like not super glamorous, but it's kind of cool. It's video games, and like you're kind of into video games. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And I went and did an interview, and they brought me on, and I slowly worked my way from that position into junior producer position working on the Realm team because I was like, hey guys, did you know that I went to film school? And like I pitched my own like stupid show and I got my friend to like be in it. And I was like, hey, if I like just pitch you a show and edit it myself and be like, look at what I can do. And the show never became anything, but I think maybe that helped them be like, oh, okay, she's not like a weirdo. She actually can edit and, you know, produce something. And so then they brought me on. That's how I got it into machinima.
Okay. And then you joined Couch Shop in the middle of the transition of the Colorado to LA, right?
Yes. I think it was late 2016. Brett was like saying like, we really want to move from Colorado to LA. He's like, when we do you want to come work with us? You know, I have this position that I think that you could do. And I was like, okay, like just, let me know when it happens. And it was a month or so before the eviction happened. And then he's like, okay, it's happening in April or whatever. He's like, so do you want to help me? And you can start in March and you can help me look for warehouses or offices. We were looking at everything. And so that was 2017. Yeah, March 2017, I think is when I started with them.
Was there any idea of, I'm joining this, you know, thing that people are very passionate about and I'm going to be seen and all that? Was there any thoughts like that?
Definitely I knew what it was and I had been watching it because Brett worked on it and he's my really good friend. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll watch like the cool new stuff that you're working on. And I knew the creatures because like of my days at Machinima. Mm-hmm. And I had several friends who used to be part of the creatures. And I used to edit stuff that like would have like Alex come be on it. There we did like shows at Realm. So like I knew Alex from that.
Yeah.
So I was very familiar with them. And then also I was familiar with the Couch Shop content too. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for chaos.
Right. Okay.
So I kind of knew a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. And what's the pitch process for like, I want to do this, or I'd like to propose this type of show?
It's very open. Honestly, you know, if anybody has an idea and it doesn't sound totally stupid, like, now that doesn't sound like fun or like it would be entertaining to watch, then like, we'll do it. Like they had been doing that Reddit roulette show. And a couple weekends ago, I was like, this is not PG podcast, right?
No.
Okay,
I was like, say whatever the fudge.
I was really high watching a bunch of Harry Potter movies, and I was like reading about, how do you have a Harry Potter movie party? I was like, that would be fun, and I used to do that with some other friends. And I found the WikiHow, and I was like, WikiHow's so stupid. It was like really funny to me though, and I saw that they had a random button, and I was like, oh, we do that Reddit show where we hit the random button on Reddit, and I was like, oh my god, we should do this, and I pitched it to them, and they were like, sure. I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And that's, you know, so it's like anything really. It's like that sort of was related to another thing that we did, so it kind of fit. But, you know, if Alec has an idea or Brett, you know, they're always just coming up with ideas off the fly, but they're always just really receptive and open to just pitching any kind of show. And that part of it is really cool because if you want to do something, you think it's a good idea and it'll make a fun little video, like we'll try it, you know?
Yeah, and I've definitely gotten that impression from Brett, just because I love Brett for his ability to commit to stuff.
Yeah.
But also his passive aggressiveness is very entertaining.
Yes.
I don't know if it gets old for you guys, but I don't know. I can watch him, you know, get, you know, that way all day. A
little bitter Betty for a bit.
Yes. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just so funny to me.
I mean, and it works. He's built this sort of like character on the channel, and that's him, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so do you ever, now I'm just curious, and I hope there's no offense to this. Do you ever feel like you're the only girl around?
I am the only girl around. What are you talking about?
No, I know, but you know how it's like, well, that's Lindsey, you know, she's one of the guys. Or do you ever feel like, man, I wish I had more of a, you know.
Sometimes I wish there was like another lady there. I mean, it was really cool whenever I would get to have Abby in there, but like we're both just sort of people. It's not like we're, you know, being like, oh, let's go to the bathroom together or like whatever. It's sort of like I can talk to any of the guys the same way I talk to any of my girlfriends. And most of them talk to me the same way like they talk to the guys. It's like I'm pretty it's pretty chill in that respect, but definitely sometimes I'm like, man, I wish there was another fucking lady in here just to balance it out a little bit.
Right. Right. I mean, it's a bunch of guys, you know, I don't know. I just feel I remember we went on this just this thing to go eat sushi, and it was 5 guys and 1 girl, and I just felt so bad for the girl. There's a bunch of dumb idiot guys talking about penises and shit, and I'm just fuck. I don't know. I always just I have that awareness, like, oh, this must not be fun for her.
I mean, I guess I get that because if it was like one guy with a bunch of girls and we were like talking about periods or something, maybe they'd be
Right.
like, I can't contribute. I don't know. I don't know.
Right, totally. Seriously, guys.
At some point,
Gals, I mean.
I'm just sort of, I don't know. This is my life, so it's no difference to me sometimes. You know.
But I guess it also you're very easygoing and go with the flow.
I try to be. I mean, like the other day on our live stream, they were talking about, oh, how long does your pubic hair go up your penis shaft? And I'm like, can't relate, you know?
Right,
But
right.
it's whatever.
Has there ever been a time where you've just been incredibly pissed off and let your workers know?
Let them know? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
Have I been incredibly pissed off at stuff? Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes you just get like that, but I try to calm down from stuff. Like if I get really, and I don't usually get really angry.
Right.
But the few times I think if something was just frustrating me so much to the point where I was like, oh my God, I usually try to calm down and then like later be like, hey, I just didn't think that was like really cool, or like try to talk about it that way. But I try to like apply that to most things in my life too, not just like my coworkers, but I would say it's rare that I get so pissed off that I like explode or something, you know.
Okay. And I brought up pitches, and you answered the question, but I'm curious.
Sure.
Has there ever been a really bad pitch that you guys just don't film, like horrible, where either it's not funny or it's just stupid?
I mean, maybe, but I mean, it's so informal
Mhm.
that like sometimes somebody might be like, "Oh, wouldn't this be funny?" And some of us are just like, "Haha."
No.
You know, even myself, I might say something like that, like, "Oh, guys, this would be funny," and they're just looking at me like, "That's not funny," or whatever. And then like it just leaves. You know, nothing ever happens with it or whatever. Sometimes that happens.
Gotcha.
Because it's so informal.
Right.
It's casual.
Yeah, I'm so used to like pitchiness and having to fight for shit.
Yeah, no, I totally
not
get
fun.
that. Yeah.
But so, and then now, I mean, not now, but you started stream, or not start stream, but you do stream,
Yeah, I do.
and you have fun singing.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Twitch
Yeah.
Sings, I will go on and on about that because I just think it's so fun. Like, I'm not necessarily like the best singer, but it's like as long as you kind of just don't care and like let go of those inhibitions about singing in front of
Right.
however many people are watching you. It's just a really fun experience because like you can sing with random people and you can see like, you know, all the really great talent and also all the very strange people out there. And it's kind of cool just to have those interactions, and they'll see it later, or you can watch the people who did your duets later. That's my favorite part of Twitch Sings, is all the other people doing it.
Nice. And so I've seen it a couple times, but I don't know, I don't get the program. Do you choose your songs, or does
Yeah,
the
you
audience
just-
choose them? Okay.
Well, you can select songs for your audience to vote for, or like just read them from the chat and be like, oh, what do you guys think? But yeah, it's just an app. It's a free app on the PC and maybe Mac too. I don't know, but you just download it and it's karaoke basically. It's kind of like Rock Band style, like the way that
Yeah.
the words and stuff go. So it's really fun. It's just karaoke.
Yeah. And what's your go-to?
For karaoke in general,
Yeah.
probably No Doubt.
Mm.
You know, she's
Mhm.
Gwen. I'm no Gwen Stefani, but she's got a range that I can hit sometimes, so it's a little bit easier for me to sing. But, and it's the most fun for me to sing because it's so sassy.
Right. Yeah. I just made a tweet about No Doubt during the weekend saying, yeah, I grew up in the 90s. Of course I like No Doubt.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, my God. And I really do miss No Doubt.
Yeah, they had some great hits. Don't Speak, Sunday Morning, Just a Girl. Come on.
Running.
Yeah, man.
God damn it. God damn it. Gwen, come back, please.
I mean, you can always just go listen to some old hits.
That's true. They're always there. But for the people who would like to keep up with you on the online, where can they do all that?
Well, yeah, I'm on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Lindsbot. And I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter is like Lindsbot with an underscore at the end because somebody else has Lindsbot. I'm still working on that. Instagram is the Lindsbot. YouTube is Lindsbot. Pretty much Lindsbot mostly.
There you go. If it's a Lindsbot, chances are.
It's me. There's actually another Lindsbot, though, and she's an artist for the Game Grumps.
Oh.
And it's funny because for a while, right, when I started at Couch Hop and I got like a little bit more of a following than I had previously, people were confusing us ever so slightly, but I think it's been sorted out now. And a lot of people from Couch Hop know me as Lindsey, but
yeah,
for a while, it was like people were being like, oh, I love your art. And I'm like, that's not me, but you make sure to tell her, okay? Go tell her how great her art is.
Well, but you do photography as well, though, right?
Yeah, I've dabbled in photography. I haven't shot anything in a long time, but I used to love taking portraits and took some headshots of my friend who's a model, and that was probably one of the most fun times I've had shooting somebody because she was just like, pose, pose, pose. And I was like, wow, I don't have to do anything. I just have to capture you.
Yeah, it's always nice when somebody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that just goes for life in general.
Yeah.
But no, I hear you. Unfortunately, Lindsey, now is the time when we have to say goodbye.
Alrighty.
Roo. This is the end. Hopefully, I don't know, next time you're in Austin or at RTX, I mean, hopefully I'll chat with you. I might get shy and run away. I can't promise.
If I'm there, I'd like to be there next year. That'd be really cool. And definitely say something. And thanks for having me on this podcast. You're great asking fire questions, and I hope I didn't speak too fast or ramble too much. I hope I gave you all the greatest answers you could ever ask.
Yeah, you're great. You gave me all the greatest answers, and now we're going to talk about James.
It just ends.
Yeah.
I'm like, ha!